Carolina's economy is continuing to struggle, and it's been hard on a lot of people here. We still have one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. And a recent study by the Food Research Action Center indicated that North Carolina is now tied for 6th in the nation for the number of our citizens experiencing some level of food insecurity. It also placed 3 of our cities as among the top 10 in the country facing that same food shortage. Winston-Salem at number 3, Greensboro number 4, and Asheville number 7. And if that weren't bad enough, our children are suffering more. 1 in 5 children in North Carolina now under the age of 18 is experiencing some lack of food each month. Worst of all, that same study shows that we're virtually tied with Louisiana for the highest percentage of our children under the age of 5 experiencing food insecurity. 1 in 4. 1 in 4. Tied for first in the country. It's just not how we see ourselves. North Carolina's 7 regional food banks and food relief organizations have a strong history of efficiently and effectively distributing food to the needy throughout our state. In all 100 counties, we partner with over 2,700 agencies, and last year distributed 100 million pounds of food, the equivalent of 83 million meals. Our members are the largest provider of foods to the soup kitchens, emergency pantries, shelters that you see in your communities. Our association members enjoy great support from businesses, citizens, churches, and others throughout the state, and they have continued to increase their support. But the truth is, we're still not meeting that need. As generous as they are, we're still not able to meet all the needs of the needy in our state, those folks lacking food. And that's why we're here today. Several months ago, the Pork Council came to us and asked, what can we do to help? And we started talking to them about some of these numbers, and they just found it unacceptable, like so many of you would. And they were especially bothered by the problems facing our children. And when they heard these numbers and absorbed this information and realized the magnitude of what we're facing, they proposed to partner with our food banks around the state, a partnership that will try to get healthy food to more of our children in need. And this partnership is called the Food Effect. And to tell you more about this partnership, I want to introduce Deborah Johnson, CEO of the North Carolina Pork Council. Deborah?
Thanks, Alan. I am delighted to represent the North Carolina Pork Council. For those of you who may not know us, we work as the public face of the state's pork production industry. We support not only pork producers, but various production companies, and some 46,000 North Carolinians who make their living working in pork production, pork processing, and distribution. The idea of sponsoring the Food Effect came about when we were discussing hunger in the state, and we came to see a connection between childhood hunger and our everyday business of promoting the consumption of pork, not only here, but throughout the world. The Food Effect is an online network. It's designed to educate, to involve, and to unite people in the fight against childhood hunger and the detrimental effect that hunger can have on all aspects of childhood development. The campaign will be a website, thefoodeffect.org. I'll say that again, thefoodeffect.org. It will enable people to give money or time to a food bank in their area via one of the 7 regional food bank organizations throughout the state, and to spread word of this issue within their social networks. Everyone in the state who has access to the internet has the opportunity to be a part of the Food Effect. Anyone can join, anyone can make a contribution of time or money, anyone can spread the word through their social networks, and anyone can encourage their colleagues, their friends, and their families to do the same. The campaign has 3 goals. 1, to increase awareness of the issue of childhood hunger in the state. Another is to raise funds for this issue. And the third is to build a social network of people committed to the effort. You know, our pork producers deliver a high-quality, wholesome nutrition product. We're a source of protein that literally helps feed the world. So fighting childhood hunger here at home, here in North Carolina, is a natural and welcome cause for our producers. And it's largely because of our experience in food production that we are going to be a part of this. It's natural for us to do this. And also, the Food Effect campaign aligns us with the spirit of the We Care initiative that our national organizations includes a commitment to our state pork producers to contribute to a better quality of life in the communities where we live and work. There's no doubt that the Feeding America food banks will be a great partner in this effort because they have such a great track record. Alan mentioned that already. They efficiently oversee the vast majority of food distribution to the needy in our state. And Alan Briggs and the Feeding America Food Bank leaders, some who are here today, have been great to work with as we've been developing the Food Effect, and we're proud to be associated with their organization. Fighting childhood hunger is an effort we can all get behind here in North Carolina, and that is evidenced today partly by the presence and support of some of our state's lawmakers. And I'm pleased now to introduce one of those lawmakers, a key leader, Speaker of the NC House of Representatives, Thom Tillis. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for being here.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank those of you who've been out there with the food banks. I know it's been tough. It's always been tough. I've actually worked with Second Harvest in the past in the Charlotte area. It was tough before we got into these economic times, and I know that you're having to do a lot of work, and it does not go unnoticed. We've already talked about the statistics. It is clear that we've got a worsening hunger problem in North Carolina. We have too many children and, in fact, many adults who simply don't have enough food. We've got to find innovative ways to solve this problem while we're also working within the constraints here in this building. One other thing I'll tell you is on the subject of the problem of hunger. In this room, this is our press room. Oftentimes what is said here probably has a partisan perspective on one side or the other. I think the evidence of the people who are in this room, we don't consider this a partisan issue. This is something that we've got to solve, and we all recognize it's a problem that's going to require a lot of people, businesses like the Port Council and others coming together to work and do the right thing for the North Carolinian citizens. I know Senator Berger and I are pleased to support the formation of this partnership. It's these kinds of things that can actually create a sustainable model for solving this problem over time. Not just a blip, but something that becomes a part of the fabric of solving these problems as we go forward. And the North Carolina Association Feeding America Food Banks and the Port Council working together are going to be a huge part of that solution. I also want to applaud the Port Council. They've worked on a number of other areas, the 46,000 people that work in the industry that drive this economy, that are concerned and committed to helping you all do the right thing for the citizens is something that, well, I think it's a long time coming. We need to do more of it. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for stepping out there and giving models for other people to follow. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Senator Berger for some comments.
Thank you, Speaker Tillis. Before I get started, I cannot help but notice, technology is a wonderful thing. And right here in the front, we've got two moms who are in the
multitasking.
They're texting with one hand and videoing with the other hand, and yet the kids are the low-tech ones here. They're taking notes and writing. So I apologize for calling attention to it, but it's good to help myself. First of all, I wanted to thank the Port Council, Alan Briggs, and everyone who's responsible for bringing this effort together. This is something that is not only needed, but it really reflects North Carolina at its best. The people of North Carolina, the private sector, working to aid our fellow citizens in times of need. And so I certainly commend all of the folks who are engaged in this effort, and thank you very much for that. With that, I would encourage anyone who is within earshot to dig into their pockets and help out with this effort, because it is something. Government can't do everything, and we don't want government to do everything. And so it's a great thing that we see the private sector and individual citizens engaged in this. And just wanted to reiterate that Speaker Tillis and I, as well as the other representatives in the General Assembly, including Speaker Hackney and Senator Nesbitt and Representative Stam, are happy to help in this effort. Obviously, like everybody else, we wish it was not needed, but it is needed, and we thank you for everything that you're doing. And I note that we actually have more members of the General Assembly showing up for this press conference than show up for our press conference. So it's a good thing, and you have a great deal of support here, and thank you again for everything you're doing. And am I supposed to introduce, I would introduce to you Speaker Joe Hackney.
Thank you, Senator Berger. It's a pleasure to be here to join in and support this effort, and to say thank you to all the people who work to fight hunger in North Carolina. I'm very proud of the efforts to fight hunger in my home district, very extensive and hardworking food bank effort in my area. I'm proud of that, and I want to add my thanks to the Port Council for coming forward and putting their substantial resources behind this effort. Secondly, to put in effect ties to the social network that we all are able to use these days to join in that those networks in this effort is going to be a great success, I would predict, and will greatly expand the success of food banks here in North Carolina. Thank you.
Senator Nesbitt.
Thank you. I'm really here to support the effort today, not to make a long speech. The comment was made a while ago that that government shouldn't do everything, that we got to look to the private sector and to people out there to do everything, to do some things. And I can tell you this, if the government could have solved hunger, we would have done it. This is just one of those things that's fundamental and basic to our people. We can't do it. We are doing all that we can. It takes volunteerism, it takes private sector commitment like we're getting from the Port Council and the creation of this website. We're blessed in North Carolina with tremendous volunteerism. And up my way, we got so many we can't organize. This does that, and it puts people in the loop at any place they can go. They can go to the food banks and work, they can contribute, they can go help haul the food out to the people, they can do any of the jobs that need to be done to take care of hungry people. It's a great idea, and I'm appreciative of the Port Council and everyone who's involved in this effort.
Thank you. Representative Stam, I think he wants to be the first to tweet. I know you guys are on a tight time schedule, so I do want to thank everyone for coming. We do have any of the members who can stay. You'll be welcome to take questions. I want to thank, again, the Port Council members here, and we're very grateful for this effort. And we do have representatives from all the food banks here. You have a list, I think it's being distributed. We also have members of the Port Council Board who are here, so if you'd like to have one-on-one interviews, particularly with your local representatives, we invite you to stay. They will be here. And thank you again so much.